Hello and welcome to another episode of Page Burners. We're working our way through the Malazan books in publication order. We're reading books both by both authors, Stephen Erikson and Ian Esselmont. We won't get to an Esselmont book for a few more months because we're reading them in publication order. But we just finished Memories of Ice, and today's discussion is going to be on the first Boccaline and Corbel Broach novella entitled Blood Follows. Uh, yeah, I think that's pretty much all there is to say today. We will start our discussion of House of Chains sometime in October. I will put up the reading schedule closer to the start date. I think we're starting the week of October 21st. I don't know if 21st is the Tuesday, which is when we usually record. And
hmm
I'll post the reading schedule in the next couple of weeks. But as always, we'll be reading 100 or so pages in the longest, in the edition with the most number of pages, which I think might be the UK edition. I'll check. Yeah, Blood Follows we're discussing in its entirety today. We will be talking full spoilers. So if you haven't read the book, please consider reading it first before coming back to listen to this discussion. With me, of course, we have the usual group of people. The late guy, could you kick us off with intros?
I thought I was going to be the last one arriving, but no.
No.
Anyways, I'm Dan, and I don't know. I'm me. First time I'm reading this novella. I didn't know actually there were all the Colbert Broach and Porcelain books, so looking forward to reading them. Anyways, Jared.
Hi, good to be here. I run the Fantasy Thinker YouTube channel, and I'm also on Panel Chewing and Film Chewing on the Page Chewing forums as well. And this is a reread for me. Read this first time, I don't know, probably about 10 years ago, and it was a lot of fun coming back.
Yeah.
Shannon.
And we're also going to be discussing this book on Jared's short fiction side hustle, where we talked about Stephen Donaldson's short stories too. Please consider checking that out too. Sorry, who was about to go? Shannon, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Shannon, and this is also a reread from me. I've read most of the Pocket and Corporal Broach books, and I read this about 2 years ago, maybe. So, and I was very much enjoyed going back to it. Steve?
Yeah, Steve from Page Chewing, and this was a breath of fresh air after such a heavy read after finishing last book. So it was nice just to get something short and sweet and much more contained. So enjoyed it.
Very nice. I think Steve and maybe Dan, I'm most curious about your takes on it. Particularly Steve, because I know you have, let's say, a particular taste in books and maybe humor too. So I wanted to know. This seems like a melding of the two. This book. So what do you think?
So yeah, I'm picky with humor, but I like the dry droll humor, and Erikson sprinkles it in his other books or the books we finished. But it was much more it was more front forward in this book. I thought he kind of played with it more, and with it being shorter, I think it fit with it being shorter, and the characters in the setup and everything. It all worked really well. So yeah, I thought it worked. I thought it was fun, and it was kind of like a whodunit. But it was gruesome. It had everything. It was, but I especially liked that it was contained. It was just kind of focused and not like this huge world event. Just it was fun. What about you, Dan?
Yeah. Yeah, I liked it. I like Boschling's sort of humor, that sort of thing. It's always very composed, but sometimes saying very, I don't know, like the situation is a bit absurd, and how composed he is and everything. I enjoy that. I wonder how, because you said it's very contained, and it is, but also in a sense it doesn't really conclude anything. It's just like a snippet of something, but there's no like conclusion to the whole thing. I assume it's gonna, like, little bits of it are gonna continue in the next novellas. I assume that's the sort of thing that, like, because it ended with them on the boat saying, "Oh, this flesh baby is probably gonna come alive or something." So I'm expecting the next novella being them on the boat with whatever the flesh baby is gonna do, right? So I assume it's not finished. It's not like concluded completely, right?
No, it's. I thought it was a real good cliffhanger at the end. Kind of, yeah. It does make you feel like there's going to be the next story, them on the boat.
Yeah, but it's more kind of like I don't know. It feels more like like a TV cartoon in which there's an episode and it's a little bit concluded, but then there's something at the end maybe that sets you up for the next episode. Right. So it doesn't feel like chapter 3 of a book. It feels like I don't know, episode 1 of a 4 or 5 part miniseries.
Which it is.
I guess it is. I don't know. I haven't read the next ones.
No, I don't know. I don't know where this goes, but I'm saying, like, literally that's what it is. It's the first part of a series of novellas following these two and possibly Emancipor Reese.
Yeah. But I thought at the beginning, but without knowing anything about it at the start, I thought each of them would be completely self-contained and not linearly follow on each other. I thought they would just be randomly interspersed, but maybe not. Maybe it's just going to be somewhat of a thread going through it.
Well, the way we're reading them, we're not going to read them in chronological order, right, Jared? Like, we're going to be kind of jumping in.
Yeah,
because we're going publication order.
Publication order, yeah, and some of the chronology doesn't line up with the publication. He wrote some. He wrote some of the stories that lead from one story to another later than he wrote other stories that are more separate. But they're all pretty much separately readable by themselves as well. We lost Vasha. Okay, so I wanted to get her take on it, but yeah, you guys are right about the the cliffhanger in this particular short story. It is a cliffhanger that it's more of a cliffhanger saying, this is the beginning of Reese's adventures with these guys. Emancipor Reese, who has slowly become one of my favorite characters ever, is the focus here, and the story ends in a cliffhanger, but it also does complete the theme of what Reese wanted to his own detriment, but he wanted it, and that is escape. That's what he mentions. That's like one of his first lines in the whole story is he wants to escape, and he got his wish. And it's probably the worst thing that's ever going to happen to him.
He's going to get paid, I guess.
Yeah, and he doesn't have to deal with his wife anymore.
Yeah,
true.
Because we can do spoilers for Memories of Ice because we already you guys we've already gone through that. If you remember in Memories of Ice, when Quick Ben left the mansion after having his little duel with Bacalane, and he won, and then Reese came out and begged him to kill these guys.
Yeah.
Please, what are you doing? You don't know what you're doing. Please kill these guys. And there's a reason for that, and we're starting to see it here in this very first story. And we're starting to see just little. We only get little hints right now, but it's Reese is awesome. He's a great character, and I'm looking forward to rereading more of these.
I enjoy him too. I love the butler character that has to go along with whatever their master's weird obsessions are. It's always fun.
Yeah, and I think in Memories of Ice, when Gruntle asks him why the hell he's working for these guys, and he says to get away from the wife, and like we got a bit of a backstory here for just how that dynamic worked. and and I loved his suspicions about whether the children are his, whether the information that the guy got it's from him or the wife. And he's telling himself all these stories about, oh, he dotes on the kid. That's why he's so eager about whether she went to the alchemist. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, Reese is quite the helpless silly
Yeah.
butler. That really works on him.
But I mean, you need him
Mhm.
because without him, there's nothing for normal people to attach to. Because you're
Yeah.
not gonna care about the necromancer because they're obviously
Yeah.
completely evil. Without having Reese as I guess like a foil or something for their thing, it would. I don't think it would work, right?
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
murders are terrifying, right? But
Yeah.
I think at some point, and it wasn't super clear to me. It was Corbel Broach doing the murders, right? Or was it the
Yeah.
guy who was trying to kill him? Yeah, so Corbel
Mm.
Broach, he's the murderer. Normally, you'd want them caught and whatnot, but I think I wanted so badly for Reese to keep his job. I wanted them to escape without being punished. So, so yeah, it's interesting what rooting for a character will make you. What else it'll make you want to root for?
Yeah. I guess.
And I thought they also do a real good job with Bachlan because I
Mm.
mean, Cobra Broach is your serial killer, and there's nothing redeeming about him at all. I don't think. But Bachlan, I like it. Like he's just over the top. I don't know, like not quite Vincent Price, but just like he's got this just like evil, but I don't know, charming in a way thing about him that I just like that I like. But it works. It does really work best because it's bouncing off of Mancy.
Evil suave.
It's got that
Yeah.
Bond villain aura.
Do you guys imagine them with British accents? Because I kind of do. Maybe because of the way they spoke in Memories of Ice more than in this. But yeah, they have like solid British accents. Evil villain.
Well, I don't know about Corbel Broach, but
I don't think we've heard him speak or we've seen him.
uh,
Have
no,
we?
I think he does speak a couple of
Hmm.
times in this novella.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure. But yeah,
I don't
maybe
remember.
it's more of a Cockney accent or something, more of a
Yeah.
noble British accent.
Yeah. What about that? Okay, let's talk about the inspector for a second. Gould and what was it? The corporal. He's the sergeant, and he has an over enthusiastic corporal. who was like the opening scene with Gould and the corporal is the corporal like super overdressed with armor and everything, and
Hmm.
very sincere in what he's doing. And at one point he tells, I think. My favorite joke in this book was when Gul tells the corporal to go find the monk at the other end of that thread and wring his neck. I didn't register what that was about, but towards the end of the chapter, we find that some guy is ringing the bell and he's sick of it. and,
Yeah.
and then Gould has a thought to himself, like, I hope he didn't take that order literally and go wring his neck.
Yeah, and if you notice, the bells were the very first paragraph, the very first chapter,
Mm.
and the bells were so invasive into their lives and into Reese's thinking at first. That's also
Hmm.
what he's trying to escape from as well. He has a lot of little things in there that are annoying for him to escape from, and I think it just plays into his situation, his
Mm.
character.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
while we're mentioning him, I loved the setting here, the lamentable city of Mole.
It's
The
awesome.
fact that you got the city, it's built on barrows.
Mm.
Essentially, is kind of what they just say. It's I've said before. I mean, what I really love most about Malazan sometimes is just the setting itself, the world, And I think this is a neat little city with the bells and the everything going on.
Where is this city in the world? Is it in the Malazan Empire? No, it's not, right?
Not yet.
No, it's they've kind of briefly mentioned it. It's is it Coral?
It's on the northwest island of Coral, just to the west of Theft, and
Okay.
It's
just
south,
north.
like
It's just north of Stratum, and it's
yeah.
like south.
If you look at Malaz City, it's just south of it and a little to the east.
Southeast of it.
And it's another continent that the Malazans are trying to take over.
Mm-hmm.
And when we'll read more about them in future books and stuff. But this is one of their fronts. In addition to Genebacus and Seven Cities.
Yeah.
And then this city, it's kind of like on the other side of, not completely the continent, but like that section of the continent. So it's a little ways away from where the Malazans are.
Yeah, and they do briefly mention in this story the invasion of Fist. What's his name?
Yeah, Greymane. They mentioned Greymane.
Greymane. Yeah, which is very interesting considering what happens later with him.
But also, I will say, I think there's some things in here that, because I like, he calls them Melazans, and, he like, it's clear that they don't really know the Malazan Empire and what's going on. Like, it's just kind of...
This town doesn't, yeah.
There's a war going on over there somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, one of my favorite Easter eggs, actually, I'll just mention that since we're talking about that, is they mentioned... was it Daovorian steel? He's talking about swords, and there's these famous Daorvian steel, and that's a blink if you missed it. That way back in Gardens of the Moon, they mentioned the Crimson Guard, and one of the guys associated with the Crimson Guard, was Prince Kaz Daovorian. So I thought that was kind of cool. So like a little allusion to the Crimson Guard and to them.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, there was something about the Malazans, right? How they tried to come conquer this area, and they were left to rot. Their ship was left to rot somehow. I forget the details of that interaction, but the Malazans didn't come away looking very good in that exchange.
Yeah, it actually said the Fisk Greymane landed his invasion force, coming close to conquering the entire island before being murdered by his own troops. In the days of smoke and threatening winds.
Greymane was a Melzan.
A Mal is an admiral, yeah.
I see.
Yep.
I like how they say Melzan a lot more than Malazan.
Yeah, Melzan.
Melzan, yeah, Melzan. Yeah. And yeah, I love the names of all the places around, just like the lamentable mole. The first time I thought it was a joke, but then that's what the people call themselves. And then there's all these other cities named Theft and Fist, and they're all like used very unironically. They don't say anything about the characteristics of the people there, or at least it doesn't seem to. It does, but not. But a lot more subtly than you might think, I think. Like, mole is lamentable because of the many barrows underneath, which is great for a necromancer, I guess.
Yeah.
I will say, I'm overall way positive on the story. My only actual complaint about this story is I will say it's a little hitting some of the same beats as Memories of Ice with these two, because it's like Cobra Brooch is being a serial killer, and Bachlan is doing his things while Brooch is killing people.
Do you
think?
I don't. Do you think this book relies a little heavily, maybe, on the readers not having read Cobra Brooch, which is strange because I think the biggest readership might come from the readers of Memories of Ice, because I'm pretty sure we find out in Memories of Ice that Kobold Brooch is a eunuch. So as soon as they have that little ambiguity about,
Mm.
oh, it's female,
A
but
woman,
maybe
not a
it's male.
man.
Yeah. You would think of Kobold Brooch. Like I think it was clear even before that because we know that these guys are in the city, and but but we know what that is telling us. And then the other thing is, like you said, it's almost not it's almost exactly what happens, like the main thread that happens with them with the serial killing. So I do
I think
wonder
it
if it's,
actually.
yeah.
I think it relies on people having read Memories of Ice because, like, we're watching Emanciporice kind of like in his journey, and he's, oh, these people need a butler, and we already know, oh, these two are trouble, and then we're already seeing somebody's getting killed, and there's these breadcrumbs being dropped that right at the very beginning that it's a brooch. So I think that's the point. I think we know that that's not a mystery to us, the reader.
Mm,
We know that he's the killer. We know that they're part of it, but we're watching Reese, and we also know that he's going to end up being tied to him, and like Jared pointed out, begging somebody to kill them because they're so awful.
Mm.
So it's I don't know, it's almost a tragedy in that we're watching them or watching him get entwined with them.
yeah,
Do you think it would have been interesting, though, like, let's say you read this book, these books, the novellas, before the third Malazan, and you're like, you don't know who they are, and you're like, oh, I wonder who it could be. Like, you're discovering more of it, and then when you get to the third book, you're like, oh, I recognize these guys. Let's see what they get up to with the other characters.
That's actually how my brother read them, and he read these first before he started the main series, and he loved the stories on their own.
Was he surprised when they showed up in the main books?
Not really, because I told him that they will be there at some point. He didn't know exactly when or what have you, but he knew they were coming.
Yeah, I can see it both ways. I mean, in this case, the most interesting part, since we already know who they are, is knowing the backstory of Emanciporice. If you're reading for the first time, then the more interesting part is probably knowing about Kobold Brooch and Buckling, right?
Yeah, that, and I think the murder mystery actually becomes a mystery at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we knew it was not a mystery for us. Like, we know who the characters of this book are. So.
Yes, Carl Broach is here. Yes.
I would rather be the other guy, not Kobold.
Kobold Brooch and Buckling.
Carlane.
Corlane.
Buck.
Coraline.
I don't know. I don't want to be Kobold Brooch, though.
No, Kobold Brooch is awful.
But he looks like he's having fun, though. He's always giggling, right?
Oh, he's having a blast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody else is, but he is.
Yeah.
Maybe it is fun, then.
Reminds me a little bit of Shadowthrone with all his constant giggling.
Maybe something about being evil.
Yeah. It's so interesting how the way the story is told makes you take them less seriously than the terrifying serial killers and necromancers that they are. Right? It's just, there's something that adds a layer that's like, it's okay, you don't have to think about that too much. It's fine. It's funny. Yeah. Let's think about how funny this is instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a choice to not make it as heavy, I guess, right?
It's funny that the as charming as
I'm going to jump scare my way into this conversation to say that, first of all, I loved this novella, and it's been kind of painful having to hold back from reading the others, because after I finished Blood Follows, I really wanted to read it. I'm Carl, by the way, if there's a first-time listener, arriving very late to the game. And I don't know if you guys, hopefully you haven't talked about this yet, but the thing I want to talk about the most is whatever the hell is going on with Emanciporice's wife and kids.
I thought that was
I have thoughts, but was very interesting.
Yeah, we briefly mentioned it, so elaborate.
Well, I guess before that, is that the first time you're reading, right? Or have you read
Yes.
this before? Okay.
No, I've never read these before. I have no idea. I assume
awesome.
at some point we'll get a definitive answer about what's going on. But my initial thought is they're shades. They're dead. They're all ghosts. But I don't know.
Who, the wife and kids?
Yeah,
Really?
Really?
because you
I
never
didn't pick
see
up on
them.
that.
No, you see them.
Yeah, we
No,
had.
He
No,
talks
you
to.
hear them. He talks to them. You hear them. You do not see them. And then Bacalane distinctly is like, I cannot see them in your head.
Oh, that's a good point. I did read that,
Which makes
but
me
then I
think
just
actually they
ignored it.
maybe don't even exist. And they're just in his head. But I don't know. I mean, it is very distinct that we never get a description for any of them. They do not appear. They are like, I mean, it's actually very clever because the wife is introduced as the kind of classic nagging wife trope, where she's off screen yelling at Emancipor Reese, berating him, being terrible to him, and he's just kind of like, "Yes, honey," and then we're suddenly, with the conversation with Bacalane asked to question, why have we not seen her before? Why has she never appeared? It's not just some sexist trope. There's something else going on here. I just don't know what. But considering the city is full of shades, I figured that might be the answer.
It's very interesting. I did not pick up on that, but I think you're right. There is something going on because Brooklyn does say that, and it is weird, isn't it?
But didn't she get
Very weird.
stuff from the alchemists?
Anyone else have any mysteries or
I don't think
lingering
Carl can hear
mysteries
I
me.
guess
that
Carl can't hear you.
they latched onto?
You can't hear Jared? I can
No.
hear him.
No,
This happened
I'm
last
guessing
time,
Carl
too.
can't hear Jared. Can you?
Oh, son of a bitch! Not again.
Again?
Again, what was your question, Jared?
Okay. Because that was twice poor Jared was speaking and Carl spoke too. I was like,
That's
okay, that other
crazy.
thing
I don't
was
know what it
because-
is.
I just thought he was being rude. Oh.
If you guys ever ask me questions and I'm not actively responding, it's probably because I can't hear you. Although that's never happened with anyone except Jared, so I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's so strange.
How about now?
What's your problem with
Yeah,
Jared,
I can
man?
hear you.
Yeah.
That fixed it before too. I don't know what's going
That's
on.
weird.
This is the only. I don't know. I can't
All right.
explain it.
Well, I mean, the question I had was, did she not have interaction with the alchemists?
I think we heard about that interaction from
No,
one of those guys who
she
makes
nagged
fun of
him
him.
about going. Yeah, like she wanted, or she. No, she said she was going to go to the expensive alchemist, and because he made a thought about that, like, oh,
Okay.
so we didn't see it, but she said she was going to.
Yeah, and it was for the kids that she was going for the alchemists,
Yes.
and we didn't see it though, so we didn't see whatever the kids needed from the alchemist either. So yeah, maybe they are shades.
I mean,
That's interesting.
we didn't see the kids for sure, right?
We heard
I'm
them-
also telling you, we definitely did not see her. Because I
Yeah.
went back and reread all the scenes with her to make sure, and we do not get any description of her.
That's interesting.
But I thought the kids get some sort of description, right? Like their
They
thing
get,
or something. They're
backstory.
weird.
They're
I thought-
like her, they're like his stepkids. She brought
Are they?
them with her into the marriage. I'm pretty sure. That I may be misremembering, but I
thought-
don't think we get any descriptions.
I thought
No, I
Jared
think
said
he's-
that he was
yeah.
wondering if they're his kids or not, and if they're like the alchemist kids or something, because they don't look like him. Something like
Oh,
that.
that's right. That sounds right.
That, and also I think she had them while he was away traveling. So
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
right.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah. There you go.
and he also is suspicious without really voicing his suspicion that she might be cheating on him now because the guy Krieg or whatever his name is, he asks Reese how her visit to the alchemist went, and he's like, I don't remember mentioning it to him. So maybe she did,
It's a
but
good point.
yeah. So if they are shades, that could also potentially explain all of those. I think I kind of like that. I kind of want that head canon, even if it's not true.
Really bleak tinfoil theory here. What if he came back, found the children? She was like, "These are our children." He was like, "I don't believe you." He lost his shit, killed them, and has been psychotically believing they exist since then. Would be very gothic, very dark. But
Maybe.
that's just my crazy tinfoil hat theory about it.
This is all to explain Bocalain saying I can't see them in your head.
I mean, that's weird though,
Yes.
isn't it?
It is.
That's what set me off. But then
Yeah.
it is very distinct that we never physically see them on screen, so to speak.
Yeah, I think even in the opening scene, she's yelling at him from another room. I don't think she's in
Correct,
the room
yeah.
with him.
Yep.
Interesting.
Very
What are
suspicious.
other possible explanations of what Bocalain said? This scientific method.
Maybe she's involved with a god in some way. That's the only other thing I could think of. That's shielding her. I don't know.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe she is a god.
Oh my god.
Maybe. Or maybe she's a lich or something.
Maybe Mancy just never looks at her.
Or that.
Maybe.
He doesn't
getting
actually know what she looks like.
Getting yelled at
it's
from
been a
another
long time.
room.
You know, that's interesting, Kyle, because you also have the fact that every employer he's worked for is dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How coincidental is that?
Yeah, I wanted to bring that up earlier. I thought that was a great little bit of backstory, how people think he's cursed because everybody he works for dies. And, I think we're taking that with us, so it's like, is anything bad ever going to happen to Bachlan and Corporal Broach? I mean, we know they don't die, but, does his bad luck or whatever affect them?
I think he might be connected somehow. In some way, he might have been connected with the Hood's realm, and that's why, like maybe when he was sailing, then he got tainted by it, and then now everything, so everything he touches is also. But then it would be fine with the necromancers because they're also dealing with Hood's realm.
Yeah.
I feel.
Well,
I don't know.
and does anybody have any thoughts on the theory? Because they talked about necromancy in this book and how it would work in this world. So they say it's what? It's like it's not necessarily part of Hood's realm, but it's like I don't
The
know,
border.
like going into his realm. What?
Yeah, it's like on the border, like between Hood's realm and the mortal realm.
Yeah, between life and death, and that's how they're able to do necromancy. I thought that was interesting. I was just looking at it a minute ago.
We had a similar discussion in the third Malison book, right? In which someone, I don't remember who was, Quick Ben maybe, or someone said that necromancers are not like friends of Hood because they're like taking away souls from him and stuff like that. So, I don't know.
And they actually quoted, and by the way, it kind of bummed me out. They quoted somebody named Culp the Elder, which then reminded me of Culp, and I was like, is this any connection to Culp? And I kind of looked into it, and no, it doesn't look like there's nowhere else do they ever reference our Culp with somebody named Culp the Elder. So that makes me sad. And also, he had nothing to do with Hood's realm. He was Minas, I think. He was like illusions.
What?
Maybe his father was a magician too, and he was called the Elder. What were you saying, Carl?
On the note of the necromancy and how all of it works, what was it that Bachlan was making? I'm trying to remember. It was like like a not like a plate, but like I was just very confused. Like I had no idea how to like
a stone
interpret
slab.
what that thing was doing. Yeah, the stone slab. Thank you.
I think it sustains the whatever Cobra brooch is making / contains. I don't know. It's connected.
Oh, that's
somehow,
right. Is that what we find out at? That's what we find out at the end. You're right. I've just forgotten. Thank you for reminding me.
But I also think it keeps it alive somehow, right?
No, I think it just keeps it trapped because the way it ends is they're like, oh yeah, this thing is gonna like stop working at a certain point because we're out at sea and we're gonna be out at sea for a long time, and so it's gonna get loose and start, you know, ...
Which is that because there's like a lot of water. I know in a lot of other books, like running water is, stops necromancy or whatever, or it stops the undead. Is that why?
I'm trying to remember if Malazan has any like water stuff for
I don't know.
undead. Are you thinking of Sabriel then? I vaguely
that
thought
one,
of that too. Yeah,
but also I think I've read other books. I have a vague recollection that it's tied to some old folklore. Maybe it's connected like vampires or something.
It's a vampire. Yeah.
Okay.
No, it is. It is. It's a thing.
Like running water has some sort of warding property in folklore.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's
like a thing in Lord of the Rings, even. Like, isn't it like a thing that orcs can't cross water? They like won't cross water. No, it's not the orcs. It's the fucking the ring wraiths.
Well,
yeah. Well, that's because of that enchantment that was done to it. Turned it into a bunch of horses and killed them. Well, killed the horses.
It's It's definitely like a thing in folklore, but I think here it's just like there was something they needed, like they needed to keep killing people to keep it going or something like that. There was something like they were going to be at sea too long. I don't think it was like the ocean itself, but the fact that they were going to be away from land.
And there's also something weird about the nails that they used, he said.
Yeah.
Right?
No, definitely. They mentioned the nails. I'm looking for it.
So I wonder where they came from, because they also seem to have something weird, and the ship also seems to have something weird, even without the necromancers, right?
That's true.
The ship's definitely got some mystery going on.
Yeah.
A lot of mysteries.
Actually, maybe this was Mancy's bad luck with them, was because he picked this vote for them because it seemed totally normal, totally chill. They're leaving and everything's fine. These are the people to pick, and then he picks them, and right here at the end we get like, oh no, this is not the place to be.
I briefly gonna interject to just say, your slip up, Shannon, is making me realize the emancipator. Like I that's totally the etymology of his name.
Yeah.
From like emancipation. He's this like bonded servant. Like I didn't even realize. That's actually that's classic Erikson.
Yeah.
Very fun.
What else? I guess there's also, like you were mentioning before, you said this creature that Coral Barbaros is creating, right? I wonder why he's doing it, because it comes back in the third book, right? It's still in the chest. They still have it. So it must have some significance or something. I don't know what they're trying to do, but it must be relevant later on too.
You mean the serial killing in Memories of Ice?
No, but they have in Memories of Ice, they still have the chest with the flesh baby inside, right?
Oh.
You don't remember? Like someone opens it or whatever. There's something going on with it in Memories of Ice.
I do not remember it at all.
You're probably right, but I don't remember it. Yeah.
I mean, it's Frankenstein's monster, right? Like it's Erikson having fun with all the different Gothic tropes. I'm just waiting for like some sort of, bloodsucker subversion to appear.
But Frankenstein is not bad in the book. Well, neither of them is really
He
bad.
kills people. Yeah.
Yeah, but he doesn't.
Don't get me wrong. He's not like the scientist is obviously the villain in a way, but the monster does like murder.
Yeah, but it's because he doesn't know. Like, it's not. You know what I mean? This seems a lot more evil. I don't know.
Well, no, exactly.
Both of them.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I think. I'm not saying it's like literally like. Erikson is playing with all of these like tropes, not just like playing them straight. So in this case, I'm sure there's going to be even more to it, right? It's dangerous apparently, but beyond that, who knows?
Yeah.
Do we know? Are these like chronological? Like, is the next novella going to take place right after this one?
You can break it to him, Jared.
The next one does, but then the chronology gets thrown out the window after that.
Okay. I love it.
When are we reading the next one?
I don't know when it was published. I'm not sure.
I think after book 4. House of Chains.
See, I can look it up real quick. I put a topic on page chewing.
If it's not after House of Chains, I'm going to be very, very sad because I enjoyed this very, very much.
Yeah, it's so much fun. The Bacalane's humor kills me. And it's not even like he's serious when he talks, but it's so funny when he says it for some reason. It just cracks me up when he says what was he said about when he says like he tells a mansport about Cobra Brooch. Oh, I doubt he'll have a use for you, and for some reason it just cracks me up when he says that, which means that either Cobra Brooch isn't gonna bother killing him, or that Cobra Brooch just takes care of himself. You don't have to worry about him. It has such double meaning every time. Every time Bacalane says something, there's double meaning behind it that is humorous for some reason.
Yeah, his dialogue is very, very cleverly written.
The publication order, we've got House of Chains next, and then Midnight Tides, and then The Healthy Dead, which is the next novella. Which I don't think it's not chronological the next book, is it, Jared?
No, The Healthy Dead takes place.
Yeah, way later.
Yeah.
So we don't. Then we'll read Night of Knives, The Bone Hunters, and then we'll follow up on this novel with The Leaves of Laughter's End.
Oh, jeez. Sorry, Kyle.
So Erikson's killing me. He's killing me.
If you wanted to read the story, I'm sure you can reread it in a year or two when we get to it.
You know what? I may just do that.
It's only going to be about 7 months.
Yeah. There's nothing stopping you.
Yeah. It was so short. They could have read the whole book in the last 3 days, to be honest. Because I have it all in they're all collected in one book. The edition I have.
I was actually really shocked how short it was as a story, like less than 100 pages, and like they were not dense pages like the Malazan Book of the Fallen. Like they're like literally prose dense. Like the font is larger, the margins are larger. Like these are relatively short stories. So they're easy to breeze through.
Yeah, I would guess about a 30,000, 40,000 page word count.
Anyone have thoughts about the goddesses and gods we see a little more of here? Like I personally thought that was really interesting. The sisters, is that right? And the lady, Poliel and
Elfin, Plague or whatever.
Poliel, and
Yeah.
Of course, Hood is mentioned quite a bit.
Yeah, I like that we see another mortal sword. So I guess it's confirmed that there's
that was cool.
other ones for other gods, right? Which is interesting. So maybe other, all these roles seems to be. There's probably multiple of them, of the ones we saw for other great swords.
Yeah. I also like how hilarious he was after like the entire serious business with the grey swords and then grunted and maybe talk a little bit. All the mortal swords were these heavy characters, and then like this clown comes along swearing an oath that he'll kill Corbel Brooch. And I guess I hope we'll see him again. He was pretty funny. Whose mortal sword was he? The plague goddess, or was it the queen of wasn't the queen of dreams, was it?
Was it Direct?
Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
Worm of Autumn?
Yeah, I think he
The
was.
Worm of Autumn.
What's the Worm of Autumn?
We hear about Direct a lot, but
Yeah,
don't really
it's Drek.
see him. And he comes up and I'll stop.
What
Yeah.
does it? What does it do?
Just one of the gods.
Okay.
Um, I don't know. Well,
a real clown, someone who's hysterical, was the like bounty hunter or monster hunter, the guy who had like sworn an oath to kill Bachlan and Corporal Broach, showed up and was just dispatched like no trouble. And he continues to go after them. That he's been doing this for years, and Bachlan and Corporal Broach just don't kill him. He's like so beneath their purview that like they just don't care. And I just thought that was hysterical to get this Van Helsing guy just like he's a joke.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. It's very, again, sitcom like to be, because he's gonna come back, right? So these are recurring characters.
Oh, sure. I can't wait. I actually hope that he's the one. Yeah,
the moral sword of the sisters.
I hope the bounty hunter guy actually kills them. Like that would be hysterical if after like 1,000 tries he gets like a lucky shot off or something.
Yeah, but it's
like,
gonna be like
he sets off an explosion that like blows them up. Or something.
I think it's gonna be completely unrelated. Like it's gonna be in one of the books, and they're doing a whole thing, and like some fight with Quick Ben and all this sort of thing, and then they suddenly get randomly killed by him.
I think it's very possible that they never die. We'll see.
Yeah. Also,
these two, it just feels like it might be an Erikson thing to just tease them getting killed and letting them survive. Come what may.
And then the other guy's Stek, the guy with the crossbow.
Stet. That's
Stek,
what I'm talking about.
Tolgard and Stek. Is that the only ones we get introduced to? I think so.
It's interesting that Tolgard, they actually left because they saw his sudden gift of power, thought it was quite formidable, and so they, that's something they don't want to contend with. I think that I found that very interesting.
But then he didn't bless his horse. I liked that. I was like, oh man. Poor horse.
Poor horse.
And then the horse dies, right? Or something bad happens to it.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's how they take him down, as they attack the horse. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that Bachlan is like, is clever. Like he's actually very smart, and he like wins that not just through like brute force, but by outwitting everyone. And then when he comes up against like he's like, this is going to be too much of a problem, he leaves. Like it makes him weirdly likable, even though he's like pure evil.
Well, before you got here, Carl, I was saying that I love Bachlan. I think he's very charming and very evil.
There is something about a very competent, genteel person that even when, they're just the scum of the earth, you kind of like them.
True. I mean, he doesn't do anything. I guess he helps Corporal Broach, but he doesn't do the killing himself, right? So
I mean, I'm sure
No.
he's done some nasty stuff.
I'm sure
but
he's
yeah,
done.
Yeah.
We don't see it, I guess.
He likes to summon demons, right? That's his thing, or at least one of his things.
Yeah,
Yes,
he's more of
that's
a
right.
demonologist. Yeah.
Has anyone here seen or read Full Metal Alchemist?
Yeah.
A little bit of it.
Long time ago.
Corporal Broach, I imagine as gluttony. That's basically the vibe in my head. This bald little baby man who is just both scary and kind of pitiful.
I was thinking one of the guys from Berserk. There's a bold, tiny, sort of darkness god. That's how I imagine him.
Wait, is
It's from
Boklane
Berserk. I'm sure
bald
it's
too?
really messed up.
I
No,
know
he has hair.
No.
Corporal Broach is bald. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Corporal Broach.
I don't know if Boklane, if he's described as having a widow's peak, but I imagine him with a widow's peak, like a very
Yeah.
strong widow's peak.
Yes, absolutely.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
I
sure
think
they
he's.
have.
I was going to tell Carl. Yeah, he's got this strong Vincent Price vibe to me. That's how I kind of envision him.
Oh, exactly. No, that's exactly. He's Vincent Price, 100%. I wouldn't even be surprised if Erikson was, inspired by Vincent Price, because he has it, the way he speaks, he feels straight out of one of those Hammer films.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking they also
Next
have
time we talk to
very
Erikson.
Harkonnen vibes from the Dune movie, right? Very pale, very.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Oh.
We're talking about Corporal Broach.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. He could easily be one of the Harkonnens.
And one of them is
bald and pale.
Yeah. One of them is large too, right? Corporal Broach is large.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like fat.
I do believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a bowl, round.
He is described as being fat. So, Harkonnen makes sense.
I think Boklane's tall too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tall and skinny.
Yeah.
Laurel and Hardy too.
I thought it was very one of the things that you said earlier, Kyle, interested me, because Boklane then later on, right before they're ready to leave, he says, "Mr. Reese, allow me to treat you for this unfortunate illness of yours." And it's he says, "My past efforts in dissection and vivisection have determined the cause of the malady to be found in all places, the inside of your ears." And I wonder if that ties into the consistent ringing of the bells all the time. And if you're right about his sense of madness and him hearing his wife screaming at him and hearing the hairless rats of kids that he has upstairs in the attic, and I wonder if the malady is that Emancipor was a little mad himself.
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, if he has tinnitus, it definitely could be described as sounding like bells in a way. That's really interesting too. Yeah, he's got some sickness inside him. Ooh. I'm gonna keep my eyes out for that. More of that. I will say, if we do get some reveal that he's committed some atrocious crime, I'm gonna be sad, because Emancipor Reese is very likable in a classic downtrodden Steven Erikson protagonist way.
Yeah, well, you get the beginnings of his sort of hatred for his employers right away. At the end of the story, he's like, when they ask him, how long you anticipate the journey and he says to himself, "Forever, you bastard," but then he tells him months, so he's already has this little bit, level of hate for these guys, but he's also he also, he has this job, and he it's good. Well, you'll see. I can't say anything else, but it's an interesting journey, to say the least.
I do suspect that his story will not end happily one way or another.
Well, and Bachlan tells him how he's going to die in this book.
That's right.
He says you're going to die laughing. When I read that, I kind of thought about it. I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. Like, if he's getting hooked up with these two, and just with his personality, at some point he's going to die laughing.
Yeah.
And there is one point where he just starts crazy laughing, right? In response to something. And if we didn't know that the third book was of the Malazan book was about to happen, you might have thought that this is when he dies.
Well, you're right, Vasha. That crazy laughing is at the very, very end, right after he tells him that, and it's when Bacalane tells him that Corporal's child might escape, and that's when he starts cracking up, and he sets off the seagulls all flying off and stuff like that, and Bacalane's just like, "Oh, I had no idea seagulls burn so readily." Because it's and he's like, "I do hope you succeed in restraining your odd mirth."
It's very. This is reminding me. It's very clever characterization to have a eunuch have this obsession with creation, with his child. Like that's a very Gothic, interesting idea.
It is interesting.
Yeah, I think it is. I thought they allude to it or something. I don't know. I remember thinking about it too at some point when they were discussing something. Maybe the corporal and the mage, I think. I don't know. Something like that.
About what? The creation?
Yeah,
organs
something
are
about
being
like
stolen, right?
the eunuch wanted to make a baby. No. Sorry, there was like because they said something about it's a riddle because it's what was it? They said the dog smelled the woman or something, but also they had information that it was a man or something like that. Like the riddle was like, it's both a man and a woman, in a sense.
Yeah, that's the solution to the puzzle. That when it turns out that Corbel Brooch is a eunuch.
Yeah, it's very, I don't know, riddle sort of thing.
Yeah, but we knew that he was a eunuch from Memories of Ice, so
yeah,
we kind of knew who it was, and also we
but
knew
if we
it
didn't
through
know,
other ways. But yeah,
right?
Yeah,
It would have been more. Well, I guess no, we did know there was. I guess it was there because we did know there was a eunuch. So it's kind of like the clues for the reader to figure out who it is before it's revealed, right?
yeah. If we didn't know about Oaklane and Corbel Brooch, this would have been a nice puzzle for the reader to solve.
Yeah. Oh well, next time.
Cool. Anything else before we wrap up? More topics?
Yeah, sure. And I don't even like the puzzle of the murders and stuff isn't even like the most important part of the story for me. I just liked seeing Emancipor Reese's, origins with the beginnings of his travels with these two extremely evil nut jobs that just make me crack up. So I that was, for me, that's the most I get out of it, and then, like, all the other antics are kind of sideshowish, with all the other the murders and the people who are coming in trying to solve them and stuff like that. In the citizens of the town, it's all dressing that helps enhance the story of this poor sap, whether he's insane or just really the victim of bad luck. Um, that's the fascinating bit for me.
You know, you talking about this and like the episodic nature of these stories, I do feel like that, you know, just with the insane scope of Book of the Fallen, I don't know that you could ever like really properly adapt it to the screen. But adapting these books and like maybe expanding upon them, these novellas, that might make a good TV show.
Yeah.
Like they've got the episodic bit baked in. They have interesting characters and locales, I'm sure, and I don't
Do
know.
it, Kyle. Do it.
I
Oh, that's
wish.
right.
I
Do
wish.
it, Carl.
What we've heard from Jared what his favorite part of this is. What is everyone else's favorite part of this novella?
I think I talked about it a little bit before you came in. It was that joke about finding the monk at the end of that rope and wring his neck. And what did you think of the police sergeant and the corporal Carl? I think those were pretty good characters too. And those were the two
They were
POV
good.
characters we got, right? Gold and
Yeah.
Reese.
I enjoyed them. I mean, Reese to me is easily the standout among all the POV characters. I was kind of like I would read more stories about like this, City Watch sergeant and the like weird mage up in his little tower playing his little political games. Those are both tropes that I do enjoy, and Erikson has such a fun way of subverting and reconstructing tropes that I definitely would be interested in seeing more of them. But I suspect that may be all for now.
Yeah, it's unlikely we'll return to this city, right? Especially because of the serial killing they did before they ran, and Gold figured out who it was. And what about you, Dan? What's your favorite bit?
Yeah, I mean, I like Amasperi's story, right? It's obviously, I don't know, to me, it's obviously just a origin story for Amasperi's, basically. Because the mystery, there's no mystery, really. The characters of Coral Brooch and Lane, we already know them. They don't do anything different than what we expect them to do, right? The interesting part is just like where Amasperi's comes from. And now that Carl mentioned all those mysteries, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's also very interesting.
Yeah.
Shannon, do you have a favorite part of this novella?
I mean, just a man's for Reese. I love him. I think it's great seeing how he hooks up with these two. Yeah, I guess finding, the whole bit with how he dies. I really like that. And I really liked again that one, that mortal sword who gets taken out by his horse, by them attacking his horse. I thought that was a neat little bit.
Yeah, I think I would also echo you all in saying that Mancy, his characterization and his just storyline here. I mean, it is the heart of the story. Definitely was the standout. But I am gonna give a little tip of the hat to Erikson for the way he changed his voice in this story. It reads, the prose reads distinctly differently than most of the Book of the Fallen. I mean, the sense of humor I don't think is unusual to find in the Book of the Fallen, but like his actual like verbiage and the way he structures sentences, like there's a much more gothic tone to it. The language is much more colorful. He was stacking more adjectives, more descriptors on top of all the nouns, and really digging deep into these sensory details that added a flair of color and melodrama to the story, and definitely gave it a different tone than at least the three books we have read so far.
Interesting, because to me, I was thinking more like a, the sort of detective noir sort of story. That's the vibe I was getting more than Gothic, especially
I
with
mean, I
the
think
sergeants,
so.
right?
My response to that would be that the noir tradition comes out of the Gothic tradition. That if you were to trace it went that kind of Victorian Gothic storytelling, which then inspired noir, which then went on. They've kind of, there's been a an interplay there. But I mean, I agree. I think you're right, and I do feel that. I mean, the detective, and the sense of like everything's corrupt and there's no fixing the
Mm.
system and everything's kind of bleak. That felt very noir, and I would just say that to me, what puts it in the slightly more gothic category is
Mm-hmm.
it felt like to me it wasn't as much about the system and the world being broken in some fundamental way,
Mm.
like a lot of noir stories are, right? It was much more about the kind of emotional reality and psychological reality of really Emancipor Reese, I feel like. But that
Yeah.
100% was an inspiration. And I really want to, like, we need to get Steve or one of us to reach back out to Erikson, because I would love to talk to him about Memories of Ice and Blood Follows and pick his brain about it. We need to get him back on the show.
Yeah. I'm sure he's busy, but for us. I don't know. Is he? Yeah, because he was right. He was writing a book. He's always writing a book, isn't he?
He's a book about to come out, although his work for that may be done. I mean, yeah, no, I mean, he's a busy guy, but I do know he likes interacting with fans. So he's had this like second career in the last several years since
Mm.
Malazan like kind of re-exploded, I guess, due to YouTube and all of that.
Yeah. Thanks
So
to
I'm happy for
Barsha.
him.
Sounds good.
Well-
we can try. Cool. What else?
Well, you just ain't seen nothing yet, folks.
Oh, really?
I love to hear that.
Nice. Sounds excellent, and a good note to wrap up on. We will be back in a few weeks with House of Chains. I have to see how many chapters we're reading. Probably the prologue and the first two chapters that usually brings us to 100 pages at the beginning of the book. But I will put up a full elaborate reading schedule on the forum. If you'd like to follow along with us, please check out the forum. Yeah, that's